Da-dum, da-da-dum, da-da-dum, da-da-da-da-da-dum, da-da-da-da-da-dum. What does that even mean, Bowers Game Corner?
Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back again today for another game review. And today I'm very excited to check out Grand Slam from Korea Board Games. This is for 2 to 4 players. I'd say ages about 7, 8 and up, and it'll take you about 10 minutes to play. And in Grand Slam, they try to recreate tennis in this tuck box. You're going to be hitting the ball back and forth. You can play singles or doubles. You're going to be smashing the ball and diving for the ball and trying to defeat your opponent in the game of tennis. Does it succeed at what it tries to accomplish? I don't know. Let's open it up. I'll tell you. Alright then, we're going to take a look at what you're going to get inside of Grand Slam from Korea Board Games. First and foremost, we have our handy-dandy rule booklet, which you might notice is on my busted old phone. That's because when I got this game, it did not have the rule booklet, unfortunately. I doubt that that is a big problem. I think it's just my problem. But still, you can find a PDF online. The PDF is 8 pages, double-sided, full color, full of pictures, illustrations, examples, stuff you like to see in a rule booklet, right? Well, kind of. The rule booklet's still bad. How bad is it? Well, it's pretty bad. You'll be able to play the game, and you'll be able to figure out nearly everything that's going on, but Lord forbid, if you want to try out the Master Rules, you'll have no idea what's going on. In the Master Rules, you're actually going to have a card in front of you and cards in your hand, and you have to play 2 cards per turn, but I don't know if that means you have to smash or what's going on there, but needless to say, the rule booklet is not that well done. If they ever release an English edition, it's going to need a revised rule booklet. So in Grand Slam, what you're trying to do is you're trying to get 4 tennis balls. 4 points right over here by playing tennis. You're going to be hitting the ball back and forth, sometimes smashing it, diving for the ball, doing other various things that you would do in tennis. We'll go over the components and we'll get into how the gameplay works. So first and foremost, you're going to have 4 decks of cards. You're going to have yellow, purple, pink, and green. They are all the same, and they're all going to have various different pictures on them that will show you where you're going to hit the ball from and where the ball is going to. Pretty self-explanatory. Some will be better than others because they'll cover bigger areas, and those are cards you want to have in your back pocket in case you need them. And that's it. That's what you're going to get. You're also going to get 2 of these large, very large, they're bigger than tarot cards, I do believe, cards that are going to form your board. And your board is going to look like a tennis court, obviously, because, well, it's called a game called Grand Slam. Last but not least, you're going to get these little tennis balls right here, which are going to denote where the tennis ball is when you're playing, and also if the ball has been smashed, because you can smash the ball in this game. They're also going to be used as point markers, so you can put over here to track how many points you have. So, when you first start off the game, what you're going to do is you're going to decide who's going to go first. They're going to flip over one of their cards, and then they are going to serve the ball. So let's take a look at this. They have served the ball, bloop, right in the middle right here. Now both players are going to draw up to 6 cards. Now I do want to mention that you can play this game 4 players as well, and you can just play doubles, and that essentially is where you're going to use the other cards right here, and you're going to take turns hitting the ball back and forth. You can also save your partner. It's an interesting game. I'm going to focus more on the solo game, or the 2-player game, so you can just see how the gameplay works. So now, pink has served the ball, and I'm going to look at my cards and see if I can return it back. So this card, I need to be right here to return it back. That's not going to work. This card, going to be right here, not going to work. Let's see. Ooh, that's a good card. That covers, a third of the board essentially, but it's not going to work in this particular example. This one's not going to work as well. This one's not going to work. That one's not going to work. And holy moly, we are already at a problem right here. They have just served the first ball, and I have lost this round. Correct? No, incorrect. Because I can try to make a diving hit. I believe that's what it's called, a diving hit. How that works is I'm going to discard one of the cards in my hand. And let's say I'd most likely get rid of, say, this card, because I have 3 cards that are covering that area, so I'm going to discard this card, and then I'm going to flip over the top card of the deck and hope that it covers this area. If it does, the match will continue on. So let's see what happens. Boom! It didn't, but for the sake of this example, we're actually going to pretend like it did. We'll say, oh, I flipped over that one. That is great. So I'm going to bloop, hit the ball back here. Now, normally, this is the point where I would draw another card to replace the card in my hand. However, since I had to make a diving save, I was not able, or it's off balance, or something like that. I'm not going to be able to draw up the cards. So now I am at 5 cards, whereas my opponent is at 6 cards. So now my opponent's going to go. They're going to look at their cards, and they're going to see that, oh, I can return the ball using this card right here. So let's take a look. Yep, it matches. He might play this card and then go bloop. and then he would draw up a card to replace that card. So I'm now sitting at 5 cards, but that's a good spot for me. I have a card that can hit from right there. So now what I might do is I might say, all right, I'm going to try and smash the ball. So how you smash the ball is you have to have a card that is going to hit where you are, and then you also have to have 2 cards that are going to have the same area of attack. So as you can see, this card right here is the zone that I have to hit the ball, and now I have 2 that are going to hit it right here. So I'm going to use both those cards, and I'm going to flip the ball over because I just smashed it, and now the ball has been smashed. So I'm going to draw back up, going to draw 2 cards up since I spent 2 cards, and now it's back on my opponent. So in order to field this ball, they are going to have at least 1, but hopefully 2 to bring it back. So let's see if they have the proper ball. They do, but the problem is they only have 1 ball or 1 card that's going to help them. So what they will do is they will, I believe it's like an offhanded or a diving, something like that. I don't remember the exact terminology. This is going to work for them. They're going to be able to return the ball back. Bloop. I think this is the dive. But the thing is, they don't get to draw up another card. Whereas if they would have came back with 2 cards to defend it, they would have got to draw back up their cards. So now it's back to me. The tides have turned. We are now even. We both have 5 cards. For some reason, I have 6 cards, so I think I cheated at some point. So now we have 5 cards, and we're going to continue to go back and forth. So I might play this card right here and go bloop, and then draw back up. And eventually what's going to happen is one of the 2 players, or both the players, are going to whittle down their amount of cards until someone is going to be able to not successfully return the ball, at which point you will get the ball, bloop, as a point. The other player, you'll get your cards back, then you will shuffle them up, and you'll flip over the top card again. You will serve again and continue going back and forth until someone gets to 4 points, or however many points you choose to play. And that, in a nutshell, is how Grand Slam is played. Alrighty then, Grand Slam from Korea Board Games. What are my final thoughts? Let's go over the pros, let's go over the cons. First, on the con side, the game is not going to be for everybody. It is incredibly light and fluffy and quick and filler. It says it's 10 minutes. I'd say that's about right. It is a very, very quick game. Also, there is a lot of randomness and luck in this game, which is going to be a turnoff to some people. If you watched the middle part, you saw the very first serve, I could not return it, and I had to cheat in order to return it to show you guys how the game worked. That's the sort of thing that can potentially happen. That's going to frustrate people who don't like, that much luck and randomness in their game. Also, the rule booklet is bad. Now, I'm not commenting because I have to use a PDF version of the rules. That happens. It shouldn't happen, but it happens. Sometimes things get lost in the mail. Sometimes things don't get packed in the factory. That's not a huge deal. I don't think that's an epidemic problem. But this rule booklet is an epidemic problem. It is a bad rule booklet. Now, it does just enough to teach you how to play the game and get you up and running. So I can't completely tear apart the rule booklet. But the bottom line is I can't figure out how to play the advanced version of the game because your rules are too bare bones. That's a big problem. Now, I understand some things are going to get lost in translation because obviously this game is not from America. But you still need to have enough proofreaders to say, hey, you might want to just add a little bit more here because we can't figure out how to play this version of the game, which stinks because I would really like to explore the master version of the game to see if it adds more choices. I don't really think it does based on reading it, but since I haven't played it, I can't speak to that. Another comment I have with this game is that I don't think you can really play at 3 players unless it's 2 versus 1. And 4 players is interesting, but I just don't see myself playing it that much just because I don't consistently get into situations where I have 4 people and I'm like, hey, you want to play this 10-minute really quick game? No, it just doesn't happen that often. If I have 4 people, generally I'll be like, hey, you want to play a regular game? I also like the 2-player version of the game better. Continuing on with any more cons that I have, if you don't like tennis, you might not like this because it is very much like tennis. It tries to recreate tennis, and it does succeed at that aspect. Trying to think of any other cons I have with the game. Oh, it's in a tuck box. Some people are not going to like tuck boxes. Me personally, I do. So that's a your mileage may vary kind of thing. Artwork is pretty minimal. There's not much artwork in the game, and that's what I got. That's what I got on the cons. Because moving on to the pros. If you can get past the randomness, if you can get past the luck, if you can get past the rule booklet, that's one more thing. There are some minor rules where you're like, I'm not quite sure if that's how I'm supposed to do it. I just think it is. You can get past all that and get past the fact you're going to have to go online if you want to figure out how to play the master rules of the game. Grand Slam really does a pretty decent job of recreating a game of tennis. It really does. And it's fun, it's fast, it's quick, it's very lightweight, it's easy to learn, it's easy to teach. And if you have someone who likes tennis, I think they're really going to enjoy this game. It's a nice little back and forth, very quick, a very good conversation game. You're just going to be sitting there talking, playing, haha, Grand Slam. Oh, you're down to 3 cards. Oh, you still have the card that does that. And there's those fun moments. I really enjoy the moments where you flip over the top card and you're like, oh, come on, give me that card, give me that card. And you're like, oh, you've done it 3 times. Why can't I just do it once? And I like that fun and randomness in this game because it is over so quick that you just don't take it too seriously. If you're in the market for a light 2-player game like this, I definitely can recommend Grand Slam as one that might be worth checking out. I'm trying to think of another game that's 2 players, that's this quick, this simple to learn, this simple to teach, this back and forth, that's going to neutralize, some of the issues you might have with, say, other games where, say a more gamery game, if it's just you versus your significant other, and your significant other doesn't play too many games, you're probably going to beat them the majority of the time. Where this one, it can go either way at any time, just because it is all random. So if you're in the market for that sort of game, long meandering explanation I just gave you, then Grand Slam is one I can recommend. However, if you're not in the market for this kind of game, or if it's going to just bug the crap out of you that you can't play the advanced version of the game, or you don't want to import the game, then Grand Slam might not be for you. So my final thoughts on this are it's a good game that could be great with a redone version of the rules. So that is Grand Slam from Korea Board Games. It's not bad. It's not amazing, but I like it. I think I'm going to keep it. That's Grand Slam from Korea Board Games. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to click on the subscribe button down below and in the comments below. Let me know what is your experience with tennis. Mine is very, very minimal, which is surprising because I played a lot of sports, quite a bit. And tennis is just not one that I ever really got too much into. I did enjoy it when I played it in like middle school and high school. And I went to a very well-off high school. We actually had one of the best tennis teams in, I think, like in the country. And it just never really scratched my back. I remember watching Andre Agassi and Pete Sampras back in the day. But for the most part, tennis to me just kind of flies under the radar. But let me know in the comments below what are your thoughts on tennis. And as always, thanks for your time, YouTube.